We apologize. We had no idea you guys were still around.
Yeah, next time maybe do a little research.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 mascots that don't exist anymore.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
For this list, we'll be looking at non-sports mascots that once defined what they represented, but have since been dismissed from duty for one reason or another. What mascot do you wish would come back? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Joe Camel, Camel. Because cigarette ads were banned starting in the mid-60s on Western TV, tobacco companies switched to print marketing to promote their nicotine-containing products. In 1974, a French ad campaign was commissioned by cigarette company Camel that features the first appearance of Joe Camel. After the American market began using a different version of the anthropomorphized camel in the late 1980s, studies by a medical journal reported the mascot contributed to the rise in young smokers among Camel's market share. While R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company didn't admit that children were their target audience, the manufacturer ultimately terminated the campaign in 1997, following legal troubles, formal complaints, and pressure from several groups.
And would require new health warnings that cover half the packaging. It prohibits the use of misleading terms like light, mild, or low tar, and puts a stop to colorful ads that might appeal to kids.
Number 9, Spuds MacKenzie, Bud Light. If you watched television in the late 80s, then you probably remember Spuds MacKenzie.
There he is. What a happening dude.
Spuds was introduced as the mascot for Bud Light beer in a 1987 Super Bowl ad and would go on to star in a whole series of commercials. The ads usually involved a party and pretty women very enamored with the super party animal.
He's Spuds MacKenzie, one party-loving, happening dude. Go, Spuds, go, Spuds, go.
They weren't the most sophisticated ads of all time, but they worked, and Spuds MacKenzie partied his way to pop culture immortality. In fact, Spuds became so popular that when Bud Light ended the campaign in 1989, they stated that the mascot was allegedly overshadowing the beer.
He knows how to make the party last.
Although the growing criticism from politicians and watchdog groups claiming that the campaign was targeting children probably made this decision a little easier. Number 8, Tropic-Ana, Tropic-Ana. Beginning in the 1950s, the Tropic-Ana company introduced their Tropic-Ana mascot, a young girl carrying a bowl of oranges on her head and wearing what looked like a Hawaiian grass skirt. For about 3 decades, Anna was the face of our morning cup of OJ.
It's delicious, healthful, and rich in natural vitamin C. And so convenient.
He asked me if I'd squeeze him some more orange juice.
Doesn't Tropic-Ana 100% pure orange juice make a lot of sense?
But by the 1980s, the company began to go in a different direction. The Seagram company bought Tropic-Ana in the late 80s, and with the new owners came a new logo, the good old straw in the orange.
This is Tropic-Ana Pure Premium Orange Juice. No other major brand comes closer to this.
Accounts suggest the change was made by Seagram's not because of the character's potential racial insensitivity, but simply because they wanted to change things up.
Good morning. Good morning.
There are 16 fresh-picked oranges squeezed into each bottle of Tropic-Ana Pure Premium.
Number 7, the California Raisins, California Raisin Advisory Board. Who would have thought that 4 claymation raisins singing "I Heard It Through the Grapevine" would be so popular?
It took me by surprise, when I found out.
But for 8 years, from 1986 to 1984, they most definitely were. Produced as mascots for the California Raisin Advisory Board, the smooth singing raisins became advertising icons, and we assume got people eating more raisins. The characters were so popular that their version of the Marvin Gaye classic even made it onto the Billboard Hot 100. Starting off in a Sun-made commercial, the Cali Raisins were even borrowed by Post Raisin brand cereal to promote their product. However, the cost to produce the claymation ads was quite high, and in 1994, the campaign was put to rest.
Today, we may still think of raisins as being kind of something you put in your kid's lunchbox, but for a moment, they were really hot and hip.
Number 6, Mia, Land O'Lakes. In 2020, the Land O'Lakes company, makers of butter, cream, and other dairy products, introduced a new logo. The new image featured a painting of a lake with trees along the coasts reflecting in the water, and the text "Farmer Owned" above the product name.
Founded over 100 years ago, Land O'Lakes is a co-op and has always been owned by farmers.
It's a nice image that represents, as President and CEO Beth Ford said, the foundation and heart of our company culture. However, those familiar with the brand noticed that something was missing, something that had been part of the company's packaging for over 90 years, Mia.
Just one taste and you know what we mean. Good health
The indigenous woman had been the mascot of the company since 1928 and had been championed by some of the native community as positive representation. However, others criticized it as a racist caricature and offensive to indigenous peoples, so ultimately Mia was phased out. Number 5. The Taco Bell Chihuahua, Taco Bell. We head back to the canine world for Gidget, better known as the Taco Bell Chihuahua. First introduced in an ad for the fast food chain broadcast just in the northern United States, the taco-loving dog soon became a pop culture staple and a national commercial mascot for the company. The Chihuahua and its famous catchphrase, "Yo quiero Taco Bell," ran for 3 years until finally coming to an end in 2000.
Viva Gorditas!
While there were rumors that the campaign ended because Gidget died, she actually didn't pass away until 2009. According to multiple reports, the campaign either ended because of pressure from Hispanic groups over cultural stereotypes, or because of the failure of the ads to increase the company's profits.
Godzilla's hiding, and it's up to you to find him.
Number 4. Frito Bandito, Fritos. For some reason, companies think that a thieving mascot whose main goal is to procure their product by nefarious means is a good way to go.
I buy them from you, okay? See, I give you silver. No silver? Okay, I give you gold. You don't like gold neither? Maybe you like better some lead, huh?
We all know the Hamburglar and his constant former attempts to hoard McDonald's hamburgers, but we also can't forget about the Frito Bandito and his relentless desire for Fritos corn chips.
Frito Bandito, what are you doing here?
Oh, I am the moon parking lot attendant. Now, if you will kindly deposit 1 bag of crunchy Fritos corn chips for the first hour.
Created in 1967, this Mexican bandit stereotype was the face of Fritos chips for about 4 years. Over those years, pressure from advocacy groups did lead to changes in the bandit's look, and eventually his retirement in 1971.
How about that? The Frito Bandito make the magic. I turn your Fritos corn chips into my Fritos corn chips.
Number 3. Uncle Ben, Uncle Ben's. Beginning in 1946, Uncle Ben's rice products were marketed using the image of an older bow-tie-wearing black man. The exact origin of the name and the character aren't exactly clear.
Make it tonight, make it tonight.
Was the image based on a famous Chicago chef or a maitre d'? Or does it originate from an enslaved African American who cooked delicious rice dishes?
It's so much more than a simple grain of rice. It's a gift from nature that I treat with love. So I lock in nutrients using steam sealing to care for every grain from field to table. Begin with Ben for a healthy, delicious meal.
Either way, the name and character had their detractors for decades. But it wasn't until the George Floyd murder in 2020 that the Mars company finally put an end to Uncle Ben. In September of that year, the company got rid of the mascot and changed the name to Ben's Originals.
Oh, sorry, man. Yo.
Number 2. The Cavemen, Geico. We all love the Geico gecko, but some of us also remember the brilliant Geico ads from the 2000s, featuring the company's iconic cavemen mascots.
It's so easy to use Geico.com, a caveman could do it.
What?
Oh, no,
Not cool.
I did not know you were there.
The ads featured intelligent and sophisticated modern-day cavemen who were offended by the Geico slogan, "It's so easy a caveman could do it." The commercials were smart and funny, and not only did they raise the profile of the aforementioned auto insurance company, but they became so popular that they got their own sitcom on ABC in 2007.
I just don't see what's so funny about it.
Yabba dabba doo.
Don't. Ever.
The show did get panned by critics and was canceled pretty quickly, but the cavemen characters stuck around for a few more commercials over the next few years.
A TV show about us.
What was the deal with that makeup?
Exactly. Why not just use real cavemen?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Aunt Jemima, Aunt Jemima. Although she had many makeovers throughout her 100-plus-year run, Aunt Jemima's reference to and iconography of a classic Mammy character had been the source of controversy for quite a while.
Aunt Jemima. Perfect pancakes in 10 shakes.
However, it wasn't until 2021, over 130 years after the original branding of the name, that the Aunt Jemima brand name finally said goodbye following the previous year's removal of the image alone.
With Aunt Jemima, now you're cooking. Not only does Aunt Jemima Light taste better than Log Cabin Regular,
And in an interesting twist, the company reverted back to the name it had prior to the Aunt Jemima branding in 1889. Originally known as the Pearl Milling Company, the company is so once again. For now, the packaging does include a same great taste as Aunt Jemima message on the box, but the mascot imagery is completely gone.
Our perfectly fluffy, syrupy goodness has been there for every special moment, and will always be here. We're Pearl Milling Company. Stack up the moments.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.